what bothers me the most is what I was saying is it's the principle. It's that these people know and they just don't care. And they're just like, well, we're selling good. We're up. We're up. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you're up now. And then guess what? You continue to do this, guaranteed nobody's going to fucking play this game. Welcome back. Welcome back to Beers and Boss Battles. It's me, Troy. That guy, Robbie. He's really white.
I know, yeah, with this background, yeah, I'm looking quite white.
Quite white.
Whiter than normal, like almost like Twilight level white, you know, like I should be at Twilight or something.
You could be.
Mm.
I would do it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it'd be a bad move for me. I have glistening skin in the sunlight instead of, you know, vaporizing and burning to death.
Mm.
No, the reality is I turn into a lobster, which is why my nickname is Red Robster for years. A different Instagram.
He gave it to himself. Nobody called him that. He made it up himself.
I know. I actually, Justin. You know Justin.
Oh,
he made that up.
I don't like it. You know what?
That's fair, man.
I want everybody to go.
I don't really like myself.
Whoever's watching this video, go in the comments and just be like, no. Nope. That's what we got to
No, you want? I have something to say no about right here. Oof. No.
Wow.
This is my girlfriend's mug for her whiteboard. See all the little markers in there. Just no. Just no. It's not cute. It's not cute.
Yeah, the answer
is a little bit cute. But yes, the answer is definitely.
So, anywho, we want to obviously welcome you guys back, but also incite that you guys go down, you hit the like and the subscribe button, leave your notifications on. If you're enjoying this video and you want to see more, you will know every time we drop a video, so it'll be worth going and doing. The second part of this, before we get into any of today's discussion, would be our beer, hence the Beers and Boss Battles part of this. I actually did a good job last time we had, like our last episode, I did a shit job and I didn't have a good beer. So today I have a really good beer. So I'm just saying that, I'm throwing this out there, but I'm going to let you take this one away, Robbie. I'm going to leave a little suspense for myself. Why don't you tell us what you have?
All right. So this is actually, if anybody saw the last episode, I was talking about these beers that I got for him. This is one of those beers right here. It's called the Super Mash Brothers. Look at that. Oh, man. So exciting.
That shit's lit.
Look at this. So this is a New England style IPA. I think it's 6.4% alcohol. Obviously, it's a pint. So I actually took the liberty to look up a description here so I can be a little more educated here. Let me see if I can share this with you guys so I can show you what I'm talking about. So here we have, this is a description. For some reason, their website links to a Facebook post. I don't know why. This New England IPA was brewed with Citra, Idaho 7, and Mandarina Bavarian hops. Juicy, hazy, and smooth. So that's kind of like
No. Read that again. Read it the way it was supposed to be read. Juicy, hazy, and
smooth. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was negligent of me.
Yeah, that was
so let's see what it tastes like. I mean, I feel like that's kind of like a very like basic IPA description. So like the description isn't like exciting me in any way, but the name of the beer and the artwork did excite me. But let's see what we got going on here. Oh, it's good. It's really smooth. Let me go in for a second one here.
I believe in you.
Yeah, it's good. I would say it's kind of basic. It kind of is like that description. It's kind of like it's satisfying. It's smooth. It's a good IPA. There's nothing like crazy coming at me in any way. Just a smooth taste overall. Not too sweet, not too bitter. Kind of like right in the middle. Like if you want like I would almost say if you want like a super solid like generic IPA, that might be it right there. But let's go for a third one. See if I pick up anything else.
Let's get drunk.
Yeah, man, let's get this going.
I was thinking about it. We should actually have before you give me your last thoughts. I like we should have a video where we just the whole episode's beer and we just
get wasted.
Get wasted. It's a great
I
idea.
feel like I feel like we may have unintentionally had a couple of those episodes earlier on because just every once in a while I'll go back and like kind of watch a few minutes of an old episode just to see like, oh, like what were they like back then versus now, and like they actually are somewhat actually really early on they're way different. But some of those early ones, I could see in like one episode, I had like 4 beers and you could see me kind of like slurring my words and stuff. And I'm like, oh man, I was just, you see me like disappear to go to the fridge to go grab another beer. And I'm like, I was getting lit that episode. Okay, on that third sip, I'm actually picking up on a nice aftertaste. I feel like I wasn't picking up on it at first, that I'm picking up on it more now. I'm tasting a little bit more of that citra, I think, a little bit more of that sweetness coming on. But it's not, again, it's super subtle, which is what I want in a IPA. But I think it's solid, man. I've been doing this ranking, for the last however many episodes. Maybe I'll just keep doing it. So right now, my gut's telling me this is like a 7.8. This is like a solid IPA. It's good. But it's not blowing me away. But I will say, if you don't want like a super hoppy IPA, like maybe if you want to get somebody into IPAs who normally like are like, I hate IPAs, and typically in my experience, most people that say they don't like IPAs, it's because they don't like that bitterness, they don't like that hoppiness. This is pretty subtle on that hoppiness, so this might be a good like introduction for somebody to get into IPAs. So I would say it's solid. I'll give it a 7.8. It's good. I like the artwork. Let me just look up what was the name of the brewer? It's called Stable 12 Brewing Company. That's the name of them. Let me see. Can I find out where they located? Looks like they're out of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. So Northeast. So I don't know if you can get this, all across the, nation, but if you're probably in the East, coast of America, you could probably get your hands on this. But cool, man. I like the artwork. I like the vibe of it. Taste was not bad, not amazing, but yeah, solid. I think a 7.8. A 7.8 is pretty solid.
I got lost in your eyes. I don't know if anybody else, if anybody else experienced that. You just go, obviously, write that in the comments. Whatever.
Yeah, this is why I don't wear blue shirts, because then it makes my blue eyes pop more, and then it's like, yeah, I don't need that. I want you to be focused on the pasty skin, not the eyes.
A lot of guys get lost in his eyes, and that's the attention that he desires.
Specifically,
it's the attention he desires with the attention that he pushes away at the same time. It's a weird combination.
Push and pull,
Yeah, it's a balance thing. So for me, I have this guy right here. So this is Lawson's Finest Liquids Sip of Sunshine IPA. So I'll give you guys the rundown on it. It does have a description on the side. This is a beer I've had before. I don't know if I've actually had it on this though. I want to say that I haven't, but I don't know. I gotta look back. Anyways, without further ado, so our Lapulin-laden India Pale Ale is packed with juicy tropical fruit character, bright floral aromas, and delectable layers of hop flavor. Pour mindfully, inhale deeply, and enjoy a tropical vacation in a glass. Lawson's Finest Liquids is a family-owned, award-winning brewery, taproom, and retail store located in the Mad River Valley of Vermont. A lot of these, like craft beers, microbreweries, are in Vermont, if you guys aren't aware. Sip of Sunshine IPA is brewed by Lawson's Finest Liquids in Stratford, Connecticut at Two Roads Brewing Company. Learn more at Lawson's Finest. So actually, that's more of a collaboration right here.
You seem to find a lot of those. I don't really find those collaboration beers as often as you. You seem to find them a lot.
Yeah, so I don't know if I wouldn't say that this beer itself is a collaboration, but obviously the making of it, it's made this one is brewed at
they hired a different company to brew it.
Yeah, it's brewed at a different brewery. This is brewed in Two Roads Brewing Company. So I don't know what that's about, but whatever. Here we are. So I'm gonna crack
kind of right off the clip though. Let me say something based on the description. Kind of sounds like it's more geared towards the summer. Like if let's say that has a season, it kind of sounds like it's built for summer. But I mean, obviously, as you've spoken about before, you're not into really seasonal beers. You kind of just like if you like a beer, you like the beer. You don't really care what time of season it is. So, and you've had it before. So let us know what you what you think here, buddy.
Well, I'm doing the smell test because that's what
It
they
did
told me.
tell you, yeah, it said inhale. Inhale it. That might mean they want you to like get some of the liquid in your nose and in your lungs, like literally inhale like that. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I'll give you first sip impressions and I'll give you second sip impressions. First sip impression is the tropical stuff, all that fruity shit that they're talking about. That's gonna come at like towards the end. That bright floral aroma, you definitely taste like dead middle of that sip. Um,
Mm.
that piney kind of flavor that you get from IPAs, I think what you were talking about before, that's actually coming out a little bit more in the beginning. Um, that's where I'm getting a lot of the bitterness, but like that fruit, that juiciness, that's really coming out at the end of the, which is good, by the way. Like for an IPA, that's a great thing. That's not. I'm not saying this in like.
Where is it on the hoppy scale?
It's pretty fucking hoppy. It's
Mm.
pretty hoppy. Um, mm, mm. Okay, second sip is it blends together a little bit better. So like I'll say this, right? Because sometimes when we do these episodes, I'm like, I don't know. It depends on my mood, I guess. Depends on what I want to drink. But in this case, I like. I guess I'm in the mood for it, but I'm liking this fluidity, right? Because think about it, like with a beer, sometimes you have these beers where like right now, like I took that first sip and then you taste a little bit of something in the beginning, you taste a little bit of something in the middle, whatever, right? So on and so forth. But then that second sip, maybe it's because it's already kind of layered itself on your palate, and then you go for that second sip that it kind of is just like a full blast, and you can't
Mm.
really pick apart what you're tasting, which is why it's so important on that first sip to usually try to see what you're picking out. But it's good because the blend that like think about it, like the juiciness of it, right, is very separate, like from the piney, hoppy kind of tartness of the beer. But when you have like a good blend of the two, that's what really makes this beer what it is. So like now that second sip, that's really good. Like
Mm.
I would say that the opposite of what you had said earlier, which is like what you were saying, like this might be the kind of beer where it's more geared towards people who aren't IPA drinkers, right? This is definitely an IPA drinker, kind of like if you're into that kind of stuff,
Mm.
you're into double IPAs, all the craft brewery kind of stuff. This is right up your alley. Like this is what you want to go for. This is great, and I've had it before a million times. Like I really enjoy this beer, but I haven't had it in so long that now it's kind of like coming back to me. Like this is like a really good staple beer for the IPA kind of like that community of people. Like this is a very good
Mm.
middle ground beer. And also, by the way, I didn't even bother to bring it up. It's 8% ABV. And I
Ooh.
haven't been drinking a ton of beer. And I also didn't eat that much today. So there's a good chance by the end of this beer, I'll be
Mm.
talking like I'm 4 beers deep. I don't know.
You're gonna be
We'll see how it
talking
goes.
like me.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. He's
But
gonna sound like me soon.
um, so real quick, I just want to throw a couple things in there. Obviously, we've laid out the beer for you guys and talked about our preliminary stuff like liking and subscribing to that video, hint hint. Um, but I just want to throw this out there. So recently we've been trying to find ourselves in a schedule, which I think actually we're doing a little bit better with, or a little bit more consistent. We're getting more and more on track and getting back to what we obviously originally had planned and were moving towards, which is having videos out consistently for you guys, providing content, making clips. We've been doing, well, I wouldn't say I so much as Rob's been doing a lot more separate videos for you guys. We did touch on this a little bit in our last video, but we want to just recap like just a tiny bit for you guys that from now on, what we're doing is we're creating separate clips from these videos so that if you don't have this window of time in your day to watch this whole video full and through, you get an opportunity to see us do different things. Like you'll get we've been posting clips, again, mostly Rob, posting clips on Instagram, doing little videos on the side where you can get just the beer review, or you can just watch what we think about this game, or what about the multiplayer, and things like that. And I think that's good for for a lot of people, because I think what ends up happening is we have these videos and they're full of content, and although that's great, it's asking a lot of time, a required amount of time that people don't actually have. So to be a little bit more, or I'm sorry, a little bit less gratuitous, in our content. We've created separation, and that way we can provide you guys with bits and snippets as opposed to this whole thing. And that'll give you guys a
Yeah.
taste of the episode. It also might, if you really like the conversation or what you're hearing or whatever that dialogue may be, you can obviously go to the full video and watch that in length. So I just
Yeah.
want to throw that out there. Also, Rob's been doing a little bit more streaming. Rob's been getting back on a streaming game. So
Yeah.
I'll leave that. I'll leave his Twitch handle. I've been doing that in the description below the video, so it's not going to be here on the video. But if you just click onto the description below, you'll see that it'll have our Instagram handles as well as our Twitches. I have not been streaming for a while now. I've been kind of steering away from that. I've been focusing more on my music, which you can find me on iTunes and Spotify. I'll leave that actually in this description for this video, so you guys can come check me out. But I just want to throw this out there.
Oh,
Yeah,
you can't see it.
yeah,
This is
no,
his
you
new
actually,
singles out.
yeah.
On my screen it just looks white. So I don't know what it looks like on your
The
screen.
top is white. The top is white. But so if I'm sure none of you know, but
Oh, there, I'm playing it.
yeah. So now he's playing.
There's
So
your little preview, guys.
that's your little preview. Yeah, you guys can go check me out on Spotify or iTunes or wherever. It's pretty much everywhere. It's also on YouTube. So I can actually leave. I can tag my own YouTube channel. You guys can go check me out. I have a music video out. I got a new single that's out. A lot of exciting stuff on that end. A lot of exciting stuff, obviously, to hear that Rob's doing his streaming again. And hopefully we can get his little webcam to catch him so we can watch him in his.
Yeah, I'm too lazy to like hook the webcam up, but I know that's part of it. But like anything, man, it's like, yeah, we want viewers, we want people to be receptive, but as of right now, the stage we're at with this and with my streaming is like there's not a ton of people tuning in, but I just want to get consistent for myself. And then I feel like if you get consistent and if you're doing it and you believe in it, then people will come. Then
It's
the
also
audience
like
will
it's
come.
also like when Robbie started going to the gym. Robbie was a little boy, and then Robbie got ripped and fucking jacked, and then
And then I got overworked, and then I got fat, and then I got hurt. And yeah, now it's been really rough because I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, but I herniated 2 discs and things have been pretty rough the last few months. But I did do a workout today. I bench pressed, and I think I went up to like 185 pounds, which is like nothing, but hey, it was something for me. Right now, I feel pretty good. I didn't piss it off. So yeah, trying to get back to it. But at one point I had a nice little following on Instagram. I had like 3,000 followers and I used to be really into it, but yeah, now I'm going to try to put a little bit of that. I have the time now too. So I'm going to be putting more time into streaming, more time into this stuff, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Like he was saying, we're going to break it down just to break it down real quick, because I don't want to go on forever about this, but on our Instagram, what we're going to do is there'll be a preview clip or two of, the latest episode. And then there's also going to be a clip that just shows the beer review. So if you're more interested in just catching the beer review and you didn't want to see whatever we were talking game-wise, on our Instagram page, which is at Beers and Boss Battles, you'll find a couple little previews of whatever episode that we're going to have, the latest episode, and then you'll also have that beer review. On YouTube, you're going to have the full episode, and then we've been toying with also separating that beer review as well. Maybe doing clips of like, okay, if we're talking about Halo for 5 minutes, maybe a 5-minute video about Halo. We might add more clips to both, the Instagram and the YouTube, but we are adding more of those, so hopefully you guys like those. Yeah, there you go. And I'm burping a lot, so there you go.
Cute. So, all right. So in our last episode, if you guys bothered to watch, we started talking about Halo. We were talking about a lot of the multiplayer, and we slightly mentioned because it was recorded prior to the drop that Call of Duty's new map would be coming out. So now we're in it. Well, it's December. What is it, the 15th, 16th today? Whatever. December 16th. I'm sorry. So
16th,
December 16th, we are exactly 9 days from Christmas, right? Which is scary shit, by the way. I don't know how that happened. But nonetheless, so when we recorded, we didn't know what to expect. Now we're in it. We've played it a little bit. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I played it a ton. And I know it sounds crazy to people who know me because they think like, oh, you play a ton of Call of Duty. And normally I do, but I've been so into Apex and so into Halo recently. I haven't really even bothered to go back too much to Call of Duty, and for what I believe are very good reasons. So before I get into that, I'll let you take it away. Why don't we talk about first impressions? Rob, what are your first impressions of the game as a whole? And then when we talk about this, I'm saying Vanguard as a game, and then Warzone.
Okay. So Vanguard to me is the gameplay is super solid, graphics great. Everything else terrible. Like anything from the spawns, like you're just being spawn killed constantly. The game is literally the entire. If you're playing multiplayer, I have not really played the campaign, so I won't speak on the campaign. But multiplayer wise, Vanguard is essentially broken down to who has a better loadout, who knows how to camp an angle or a part of the map, or it's all about exploiting. Whoever is better at exploiting whatever vulnerability there is in the game, they are going to play the best, and it's going to be at your expense. It's going to be like if you're someone who's not like super into Call of Duty like me, like you're not playing every day, like it's just literally you spawn, die. Like you'll get killed by a dude, respawn directly in front of the same guy that killed you, and he'll kill you again, and like that'll happen like 5 times in just one game. Like it's literally insane. Like I don't even understand how these developers continue to sell these games. And look, morons like me keep buying them. I guess that's how they're selling them. But yeah, it's insane, man. The kill streaks are out of control. Bombs going off every second. Dogs running around. Missiles flying. It's just insane. It's just chaos. Like there's nothing competitive or balanced or well designed. Like the maps themselves, maybe you could make an argument that the maps themselves are designed fairly well, but when you integrate everything I just spoke about with the spawning, I think Vanguard is like, it's garbage. Like it's terrible. I think the game, like I said, gameplay and graphics are great. Like the fundamentals, like, okay, we have the gameplay. The gameplay is great. That's good. It looks great. Okay, there you go. Another fundamental. They just fucked everything else up. So, so Vanguard, not good. It's only good if you're invested in Warzone, you want to play Warzone, you want to rank up these new weapons. Vanguard's going to be the best way to do it. So that's another way that they try to squeeze that, $60 out of you again. Okay, I'm going to play this game not even because I want to play it, but because I want to have weapons that can compete in Warzone. When you really think about it, it's very toxic. Like as me as a gamer, I really goes against everything that I believe in and what developers should do and what gamers should do. And I'm playing into it because I bought these games. But yeah, it's just a terrible system. It's like literally like I'm playing this game. I don't even want to play it so I can have weapons. And it's not even about like, ooh, I'm greedy and I want to have like the best weapon. Like it's like, no, I just want to be able to compete on a level playing field. Like you go into Warzone, if somebody's got a fully decked out, whatever the meta weapon is at that given week or month or day, because that's changing all the time too, which also goes into why Warzone is a mess. But literally, like if you just want to even be on a level playing field, you have to have that weapon essentially maxed out or very close to maxed out, which takes how many hours of gameplay? You're using your XP boost tokens and trying to rank the stupid thing up. Maybe if you're lucky and you get a double XP weekend in, you can grind out a couple weapons, but then you got to kill the whole weekend playing it. It's just a toxic mess. The way they have Warzone set up. But with all that said, which sounds incredibly negative, but I stand by everything I said. I do think there's fun to be had. It's a new map, which is really cool. It's fun to play in a new area. And I think your first impression is going to be like the map feels smaller. You think it's smaller, but then after you play a few games, you're like, no, this is actually a pretty beefy map. This is a big map. And they did add a lot of different sections. Like I need to learn all the different areas, but they have a lot of like detailed and different buildings. Whereas I feel like Verdansk had like a lot of the same cloned buildings. There's way more diversity in types of buildings and types of combat and, lots of open areas to fight, jungle areas to fight, but also urban kind of areas to fight too. So I think it's in terms of design, I think it's a lot more diverse. I would say it's superior to Verdansk in a lot of ways. The visibility is hit or miss. Like I feel like sometimes I think the visibility is better, and then there are other times where it still looks very washed out to me. I don't know why Warzone seems to always have this very washed out look. Like it looks like the humidity is like 150. Like it's like at all times. Like I don't know what it is, but I don't know. There's fun to be had. Some of the weapons are fun. Like actually, me and Chris were playing, and we did a duos game, and that is the most fun I've had with this new Warzone. Is playing duos. Like we had a really good time. We actually won a game. I think it was our 3rd game in. We won. I dropped 11 kills, which is not like an insane amount of kills, but it was okay. And we had fun. And I was just using ground loot weapons, I think. So right now it seems like the STG is really good. Um, what's the other one called? The Automaton assault rifle is really good. MP40 submachine guns, great. PPSH is very good. Again, you always have your meta weapons rotating, which again, overall, I think is bad for consumers, bad for gamers, but maybe it keeps things fresh. So maybe that's one positive to it. But I don't know. I'm open minded. I want to keep playing it because it is something new, and I invested like 2 years of most of my time into Warzone. So I am still invested in Warzone. So now there's a new map, there's a new experience. I do want to experience it, and I've had a lot of fun with it. But overall, if we're going to talk Vanguard and we're going to talk about like the state of Warzone, I don't think it's in a great state. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and give them some time because they did just drop it. Let's be real, like give them some time. I try to always see the developer side of it, not just be an angry gamer. It's really easy to be angry and complain. I'm very good at it. He knows how good. Last night I was losing my mind. Oh my God, dude. I almost didn't want to play Halo again. And I love Halo. I'm the biggest Halo fan out of probably all of our friends. And I was so angry last night. But yeah, I think it's cool to have a new map. It's cool to have a new experience, but there are still a lot of the same issues that you have with Warzone they still exist, and maybe in some ways they're even worse with this new map. So that's I know I just went on a big rant, but yeah, you let me know what are your impressions of the game.
I mean, I don't think you're asking because you need to know. I think it's more that you're asking so everybody else can know because I feel
Yeah,
like
we got to get another opinion here.
yeah, you know very much. Okay, so all right, I'll start off by saying this: if you're a Call of Duty fan and you're like a Warzone nerd, which I was for a very long time, and I say that regrettably. Not regrettably, but I say that with like,
Dude, you sound like somebody who's like left the cult or something like
yeah,
that, or
yeah.
somebody who's like been excommunicated from a tribe or something.
Okay, so the reason why I say that, and I'm just gonna touch on that real quick, is because so Call of Duty is is shit. Okay, so
Hmm.
I know that's the unpopular opinion. I don't
I
really
don't know if it is. I think it depends on who you're talking to.
well, yes, but that's true with anything. But I'm talking about popularity wise. I think most people are like Warzone's dope. Like most people play Warzone,
Hmm.
and they might have complaints, but you still play it, right? Like I've gotten to the point now where I've started to see so many of the flaws, and that's no credit to you, Robbie. No offense, but like I'm I went in and I was like, Warzone's the shit. I love Warzone. I'd play nonstop, fucking 8 hours a day if I could. Like, whatever I could, I would play Warzone. I don't play it as much anymore. I've been playing Apex. I've been playing Halo. I've been playing fucking like single player games and like doing shit like that because for me, that provides more fun. And the reason why is because I came out of this like state of mind because again, I started to see all these things.
Dude, can I just say something real quick? I don't. This 1 second. I think a big part of that is you started playing other stuff, and
Well,
then that
that's
gave you, yeah, it gave you a better perspective to be like, oh wait, you know. But yeah, okay, keep
well,
going.
no. So I mean, you're not wrong. So that's actually where I was going with it. Was like I started to play all these other games, and you start to realize you're like, wow, like there's so much shit out there that's really good, and it's not
Hmm.
just Warzone. And I think that's the thing is because so many people play Warzone. You see all the streamers playing. You see everybody you know plays Warzone because it's what's hot. It's kind of like Fortnite. When Fortnite came out, everybody
Hmm.
and their mother played Fortnite, and then Fortnite kind of fell off. I mean, Fortnite's still lit in its own, in its own right. Fortnite's still got a huge fan base. It's still doing obviously very well, but it lost a large amount of people. And so, like, although for very different reasons, Warzone, I believe, does not deserve to be where it's at. So, without me ranting about how shit Call of Duty is, and I'll get into a little bit more specifically instead of being so general. So, the new map is good for certain reasons. It's good because, again, if you're a Call of Duty nerd, you're gonna be like, wow, this is just like a brand new experience. It's different. There aren't like I mean, I'm sure there's similarities and there probably is clone buildings, but for the most part, all the buildings are like individualized, so to speak. Like they're their own thing and they
Hmm.
have their own layout and infrastructure, which I think is good. I know some of the houses are a little bit repetitive, but the actual buildings and like, you'll go into different places. They're very different from one another, which I do think is very cool. Um, Whereas in Verdansk, you had all the same shit. The guns are cool. But the problem with that is that if you don't have Vanguard, like you were saying earlier, it's near impossible. You're not getting those weapons leveled up past like 15. I mean, the early stages, you'll level up the weapon super quick. But once the experience yield starts to get lower or the experience gap starts to get larger, it becomes near impossible unless you're playing nonstop and just having the ability to get your hands on that weapon. I do like some of the changes that they made. So money seems a little bit more accessible, which I think is good because I think
Yeah.
in certain cases it was some places were almost sparing with money and then other places were flourishing with it and you couldn't find what you needed. So I think that they're doing a better job with that, which I'll give them credits to. Um, they're doing a better job with the with the what's the word I'm looking for? Um, I guess like balancing in certain respects. I think that they've done
Mm.
like so vehicles are not nearly as good as they were. I think the plane is good, but it's very hard to learn how to use it. So or get comfortable with it at least. So that's one thing. I mean, it's good, you can do it, but you got to really know how to use it. Um, I think that they've done a better job at creating a system where you can actually find ground loot and it's actually viable, which I think is again
Mm.
balancing because it was like if you didn't have your loadout, you were fucked. And now you can't even get your loadout and you can't buy a loadout until the natural one drops, which I think is a fair state of play because that means that everybody's working with ground loot until the natty drops. And once the natty drops, then you can go ahead and buy yourself a loadout. Whereas in the past, the issue was okay. Well, we're 5 seconds into the game. We've accumulated enough cash. Now we're going to buy a loadout, and anybody in the nearby vicinity, so long as they're not grossly overpowered or hacking, we're going to beat them. Which
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point. I wasn't even thinking about it. It's funny, dude. Going into this, I would have thought I was the more pro guy, you were the more con, but like I play it more than him and want to play it more than him, but he's noticing some of the pros that I'm not even noticing. So that's cool.
Well, I think the reason why is because the cons stand out so much to me. So I'm trying to find the silver lining. I'm trying to find the good
Yeah.
in it. So
Yeah.
like, okay, so here's where I'll go into where the issues lie. There's still this shitty toxic um I don't even know what we like push for you to have the new game. Like I don't even have Vanguard. I've been playing Warzone. All of my comments are strictly on Warzone. I asked Robbie what his thoughts were on Vanguard because he actually has the game. I don't have Vanguard. I'm just playing Warzone. I'm just telling you what I think about Warzone, right? But unless you have Vanguard, you're assed out. So it's like, oh, you don't have to spend the $60, but if you don't, it's gonna be really hard to play. That sucks. That's terrible. That's
Mm.
a terrible way to sell your game. It's a really cheesy, fucking shitty way. I think Call of Duty, in my opinion, is doing the bare fucking minimum. And I think they're getting by because they know they can, and people support them because they don't. There's nothing that's pushing them to do better with the game. First of all, the TTK in that game is way too low for the amount of time you spend in that game, and like what's involved in getting yourselves to the higher placement in that game. The TTK is terrible. Now, I'm not saying it needs to be grossly high like it is in maybe Apex. Apex, it can be extremely hard to take people down depending on, what level armor they have or the distance you're fighting at. But for the most part, it's pretty fair. It's pretty balanced. Call of Duty, you die in like 3 shots. There's
Mm.
still there's still no reward in using any other weapon other than the meta. If you're not using the 3 meta weapons, which is the automaton, the STG, the PPSH, I don't even know
Now
if
the Cooper carbine is kind of coming up
the
right now
Cooper,
too.
the bar.
Yeah.
So any of
The
these
bar is actually pretty freaking. I think the bar is going to be the new shit. People are going to be playing with the bar.
well, so it's all these guns, right? But again, guess what? You don't have fucking Vanguard, you're not leveling them up, so they're still gonna be shit. So it's pretty
Yeah.
much like rewarding people for one, spending money, which defeats the whole purpose of a free to play game, in my opinion. And then it's like, oh, let's kind of just sweep all of our issues under the rug and just put a new carpet down. It's like, no. Like there's still so many issues with this game, man. And then especially now, it's like I'll give you an example, and I gave the same example to Robbie. And I know my rant's going on longer than his, but this is because there's so much bad to say, and I'm sorry. Like you look at a video from a year ago, and I'll be talking the best of Call of Duty. I won't have a bad thing to say about it.
Yeah, it was like 2 out of 3 videos were Call of Duty videos, like at one point. Yeah.
So I can sit there and tell you that, like, this isn't me just ranting because, like, whatever. No, I'm just saying that, like, okay, one, you're rewarding people for spending money. Again, defeating the purpose of a free-to-play game. That sucks. Secondly, if you don't have the the weapons leveled up to a certain degree, still not rewarding. Then on top of it, the TTK is too low. I know I'm repeating, but I just kind of want to go down my list a little bit. Then on top of it, what is it? The circle rotations seem to be even worse than they were. I mean, I don't know. Again, the map's way too big. High ground is always going to win, and I know it's true for a lot of games, but there's at least it's like a little bit more fair in certain games, and there's things that you can do to kind of beat that. Whereas in this game, it's like near impossible. Like if and again because of the design of the map, which is the same infrastructural problem they had in Verdansk or Verdansk, however you want to pronounce it.
Verdansk.
The issue was that if you were on high ground, there were certain limitations to how to get to that high ground. And now, not only do they have the advantage, but if you're in a certain part of the zone, you're literally fucked. You can't get out. You're done. It's over. They've done it. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're better at it, but the problem still exists. There's still hacking. There's still.
They did just put out the Ricochet, whatever. I think that's the anti-cheat that they put in. So it just came out, I think, literally like a day or two ago. So maybe that solves some problems. I don't really know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what the data is on that one, but at least they did something about it. I mean, I don't know if it's working, but they are taking steps, to work on it.
Well, okay. So here's my other thing. So which was the example I was talking about, which I kind of just missed there. But the example I was giving was that when Apex's new season came out, right? Apex had a huge surge of players get reunited with the game and a brand new lot of new players that came in ever since people started leaning away from Warzone. And if you're wondering why people started leaning away from Nick Merckx, Tifu, Dr. Disrespect, Tim the Tap Man, all these people started playing Apex right before this new map came out. And you want to know why? Because of all the shit I'm talking about right now. They're doing the bare fucking minimum. Anybody who sits there and goes, Warzone is so good and it's you're lying to yourself. Believe me, play any other game in the world and open your mind up a little bit and you will see they are doing the bare minimum for you as a fan base. That's what bothers me the most too. It's like I'm talking as a devout fan, as somebody who's followed the game and played literally like every installment since like Modern Warfare. Okay? So this isn't coming from like a bad place or like an unbiased. This is talking from a person who has played. The example would be that Apex comes out with their new map, their new season. Literally zero problems. Like nothing I saw, nothing you saw. There was no weird bugs or glitches. This new map comes out. Call of Duty, the amount of money that they make is disgusting. Okay, on a daily basis. With the funding that they have, there's no excuse for that. There is bugs out the ass. The noise is constantly cutting in and out. You can't hear footsteps because of the bombshells. The noise is even worse than it was. And the audio part of the game.
Yeah, how did you make the audio worse? How is that even possible?
Yeah, it's even worse. And the audio is one of the biggest things in games like that. In Battle Royales, audio plays such a big role. It's the determining factor of whether or not you hear somebody walking up behind you or you don't. Okay? Now, like, I don't know. You can probably sit there and hit me in the comments and say, well, there's actually this and this and this. But I'm saying at face value, and then even a little bit deeper than that, the game sucks. It's not good. I will play it. I'm not going to be that sour dickhead that's like, whatever. Like, if they're playing.
Yeah, and dude, let's just preface this, too. It's not like he's like, sour or like doesn't like the game because he's bad at it. Like every time we play, he'll drop like 12 kills, 13 kills. Like he's always like by far like dropping double the kills everybody else on the team at least. So he's good at the game. He's good at the game and he's still talking shit about the game right now. It's not like he's like a butthurt guy who's, sucks at the game and he's upset.
Oh yeah, like I'm decent enough. I can hold my own and I can play against some sweaty fucking people and take them down. No problem. I don't care about that. I'm just saying that if you take the game at like factually what they're doing for their fan base, it's disappointing. It's like, and then on top of it, can we talk about the biggest issue? they made a complete delineation between Modern Warfare and Cold War. They kind of grouped those together and threw those out the window. Like, yes, you can play the quads, but unless you have a quads, there's no duo option, there's no solo option, there's no anything option for people that only had those prior games, who only have those prior guns. So if you want to play singles, duos, trios, whatever, you have to play a mode where they don't allow you to use any of the skins you've bought, any of the guns you have, any of the attachments, anything. There's no
Yeah.
option even used.
Fortnite's never done that. Like, that's one thing I'll give all the credit to Fortnite is, like, you buy all, you still have all your skins. Like, I bet money, I could be wrong, if Fortnite is still around in 10 years, I'm still gonna have all my shit. I'm betting money on that right now. Let's see if in 10 years somehow Fortnite's still around and this video is still around. I guarantee you I'll still have access to my shit. I'll still be able to play with my fucking skins, for weapon skins or my player skins or whatever. Like, Fortnite is very good about that. They don't take any of that stuff from you.
Yeah, no, and that's my issue. It's like they just, I don't know, man. I feel like it's just such minimal effort, and it's the same thing with the anti-cheat. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. The fact that it took them this long to have an anti-cheat is pathetic. It's pathetic. It's not, you couldn't even say like, oh, well, it's not like a well-funded game, so it's hard. It's like, no, this is like the most, like, the amount of money that they make on a daily basis, it's just astronomical. Like, in comparison to everybody else in the stratosphere, they're making so much money, and then they do the least to do, like, they give the least amount of effort to make the game better. They do this, and it's the same repeated cycle. If anybody's like bothered to notice, it's like, dude, let's drop 3 guns that are just so fucking good, and everything else is kind of garbage.
And by the time you level those guns up, we're switching it to 3 new guns. That's what they fucking do every time. You can never even, like, keep up with it. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if you ask me, it has so little to do with skill and so much more to do with money and, I don't know, bullshit criteria to make the game better. And I think they've done a poor job. If you ask me, Warzone, I think it took a step in the right direction, but it was almost a lateral. Like, they didn't really go forward. It was kind of like, yeah, it's slightly, maybe on a diagonal. Like, nothing about this was a vertical movement. This wasn't anything forward moving. This wasn't anything forward thinking. It was just like, hey, how can we make this shitty game just as shitty, but just a little bit nicer looking? It's like, you didn't sell me on that. I played the game out.
One good thing I've noticed is it does seem like most of the streamers are pretty net. Like, if you look, Nick Merckx has not jumped on the bandwagon. Even a bunch of, like, Call of Duty pro players like Aiden and a bunch of these guys have, like, come out and said they don't like the game right now. So there's even people I think the hell's his name? It might be Dr. Lupo. I might be confusing my people, but someone just said they uninstalled the game and they're done. They're not playing it anymore. Very popular streamer. So I am happy to see even some really big names in streaming, because let's break it down at the end of the day. A lot of the momentum that keeps these battle royales going is the streamer community. So a lot of them have been kind of calling Activision out on a lot of this stuff. So I'm very happy to see that. I think that's a good thing. And maybe it'll, bring the game to a better place. And maybe in 3 months or 6 months, we'll be like, no, Warzone's actually in a good, place right now.
No, yeah, I'm not opposed to giving Warzone the benefit of the doubt, but there are just such major changes they need to make to the game. They need to make survivability better. They need to stop rewarding people for fucking cheesy
camping
and
just hiding in a hut. Yeah.
Camping, emulated setups and builds. Like, I'm sorry, it's just the same regurgitated bullshit all over again. And it's like, I love Call of Duty. Literally, my favorite battle royale is a Call of Duty battle royale. Blackout is my favorite battle royale, bar none. Like, I love Apex, and I think Apex might beat that one day. But right now, even now, it's been years since that game came out, and I still regard that as my favorite battle royale. And that's a fucking Call of Duty game. I think they did a way better job with that than they did with this. And if you ask me, like, for a lot of reasons, there was more gun balancing. You could almost use any weapon in the game. It made sense. Survivability was great in that game. Yeah, it was a little tanky at times, but it made sense. You could make the game work. Whereas in this, it's like, I don't know, I've been playing the game for 25 minutes. We're in this game. There's still 18 squads left. The map's humongous. We're not even close to the end of the game, and oh, I got killed by the most overpowered gun in the game from like 200 yards deep because there's no recoil because someone found an exploit. There's a fucking exploit for the drop pistol. The pistol you come in the game with, there's an exploit for that. Like,
Mm. And
that's
dude, think about they got that stupid bombing run thing now. So there's just essentially, for anybody that has not played it, like you're running around the map and there's just bombs going off every 3 seconds. So you can't hear anything. Like, and the audio is so dog shit that like everything sounds the same. So you're like, oh, is that a footstep? Oh no, I think it was just a bomb. And then, oh no, it was a footstep. A guy sneaks up on you and murders you. Like the audio is so it is in the worst place it's ever been. And like they have these things called bombing runs. Like literally, like PUBG had this thing. I think it was called the hell was it called? Something zone. It was like a
danger
random
zone.
spot. Yeah. What was it?
What was it, the danger zone? I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah. And it's like, dude, I heard Dr. Disrespect talk about that. He's like, the thing that everybody hated in PUBG, like you were like, let's put that in the game. Like what? Like what was going on? Like when they were making this game. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I'm just like over the whole Call of Duty hype. I think it was like a hype thing. I think that's what drove me to play. And I think like also like I'm pretty good at the game. Like I can hold again, I'm not saying I'm the best player. I'm not saying I'm one of the greatest. I'm saying I'm pretty good. I'm saying I can hold my own. I can probably drop a good kill count. But I'm over it, man. Like until you want to make
Mm,
this game what it should be and make this a realistic, like I'm not talking about realistic in terms of like reality realism. I'm talking about realistic in terms of like practical and like incentivize people to want to play this game, not just because that's the only game anybody plays. I'm saying give
yeah.
reason to play this game. Like the reason I'm on Apex so heavy now is because like there's a really good reason to play that fucking game. It's really
And
fun.
dude, when you die in Apex, and when you die in Apex, you're almost never like, that was fucked up. You're never like, oh man, this game has this, and this problem. Like it's like it almost always comes down to either it was random, you got third partied, or you fucked up. Like I never like I don't get really angry at Apex. If you notice, I'm not really ever yelling or upset. Like we could lose like 10 games in a row in Apex, and I'm never really getting angry. I might be like bummed out because we're not, doing well, but like in Apex, there's a difference between like a good game and a well-designed game and Warzone, where it's like literally like half the time I die in Warzone, I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, if you leave the game feeling like it was the game, whether it's true or not, because let's be honest, if you're angry and you're emotional, you might be wrong. It might be you and you're blaming the game. That's obviously very possible and very likely. But aside from that, let's be real. Warzone, there are so many times where you're playing that game and you're like, this game just has issues, and that's why I'm dead. Or that's why I just was playing 20 minutes and now I just got killed by some guy hiding in a closet. Like you said, the time to kill TTK. Like yeah, there's just drastic differences between I feel like a well-designed game and a game that is just a money-grabbing, like you said, hype machine. I mean, let's be real, man. I mean, that's what I feel like Warzone is. When it first started off, I feel like Warzone was actually very solid. It brought something new to the table. It was a very good battle royale that actually pulled me away from Fortnite because we were grinding Fortnite for a long ass time and having a good time with it. And one different thing I'll give Fortnite credit is that everybody would play that game. You could get the hardcore guys into it. You can get the casual guys into it. Like a lot of people would play that game. Whereas like I have a lot of friends who would play Fortnite, but they won't touch Warzone, and they're probably better off for it. But I feel like Warzone wasn't a better place when it first came out. But then it was like, dude, this game's been out for 2 years. Like you need to improve on these problems, and like they're kind of improving in some ways, and in other ways they're not improving at all. You
Yeah.
know.
I mean, I,
So
I think just the principle of a lot of things is like in a bad place. I think also is just the principle that like, look, Call of Duty, if you know anything about them, they know how to fucking market, man. They know how to sell that game. They do. I don't know how. I don't know what goes into those fucking meetings when they have the board around them and they're like, how do we get this game out on the shelves and how do we sell it? But they do a damn good job of it. Okay, so if they're that smart to figure that out, they're not fucking ignorant to the fact that there are beyond a multitude of fucking problems with the game, right? So if that's the case, then why is it that we're still dealing with the same shit like you said from 2 years ago? And then on top of it, they're not like they've done nothing. They've done nothing to change that. They've done nothing to improve. If you think about it, everything that was a problem in Call of Duty, they masked. They're like, oh, I know cheaters are bad. Cheaters are bad. We blocked 90,000 people. Dude, there was like tens of millions of people play this game. 90,000? Really?
Hmm.
That's like pennies on the dollar, dude. That's nothing. You did nothing. Okay? I know people are complaining about, the map design. You didn't change anything about that. You just, even when fucking Cold War came out and we did the Verdansk 1984, whatever the fuck it was, dude, it was the same fucking map. The buildings just look
Hmm.
different on the outside. Nothing changed. What, you added like one new area? It's the same fucking thing, man. And it's like the what bothers me the most is what I was saying is it's the principle. It's that these people know and they just don't care. And they're just like, well, we're selling good. We're up. We're up. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you're up now, and then guess what? You continue to do this, guaranteed nobody's gonna fucking play this game. It's gonna go in the dirt.
Yeah,
And
give it
then,
a year. It's not going to be in a good place if it stays on the track it's on. Unless they solve a lot of the problems that we're talking about right now, something else will come out or, whatever it might be. But yeah, people are going
Halo,
to get
baby.
sick of it, man.
Halo, I'm calling it. And I think this will be the best. This honestly, this would be the most advantageous fucking time to drop a Halo BR. Because
Mm,
then that means that Halo and Apex would run shit. Fortnite's still there. Fortnite still exists. Like, it still has a very big following. Like, I'm not taking that away. It's just like you don't really hear about Fortnite anymore because Fortnite kind of like fell back a little bit. Like, Fortnite is not what it was.
mm,
It was a hype machine. Fortnite, everybody was playing. But it's like the reason why nobody plays Fortnite now is because in a way, Fortnite followed a lot of the same things that Call of Duty did. Now, I will say this: they've done, not to say that they disguise their issues or they overlook their problems. It's just that what I mean is that there was no intervention when it mattered the most. That's what Call of Duty is doing right
mm.
now. And with Fortnite, the intervention that they needed to have was they needed to slow down on the building to create a more level playing field for everybody. The problem is now is there's too big of a skill gap. In Fortnite,
Yeah,
if you're not the best player in the world, you just can't keep up, man. I don't
yeah.
care. Like, you have to devote so much time. And I get it. It's like, oh, well, you want a game that rewards you for practicing and trying hard. Absolutely. But you also, for a game like Fortnite, what it pitched itself as was a game that anybody could get into and anybody could have fun with. And then it turned into this game where it's like, no, you will only have fun and do well if you've spent millions of hours on the game. And if you don't do that, you're not doing anything. And that's the
Yeah.
issue. Like, Fortnite did a lot of the same for that reason. And Call of Duty, it's really all just negative though with Call of Duty. It's just that there's just damn like damn things about that game, like really bad problems. And they're just like, we're just not gonna change it. But unless you
Mm,
change certain fundamental aspects of a game, it will never keep your crowd happy. Like, you need, like, it's like anything, man. You put out a fucking beer. You want to go make a beer. People go, hey, I love this, the design of the can. I love the name of the thing. I love the juicy tropical fruit character, the bright floral aromas, but I don't like that piney in the beginning. And then the beer company does really well because overall people really like the beer. But then 2 years down the line, people go like, well, you never changed that shit. So, oh, we like the beer, but it's old. It's fucking done. And that's what happens. And then this is gonna be the most advantageous time for a new battle royale to drop. And if it's fucking Halo, oh man, oh man, it's on
yeah.
like fucking Donkey Kong, Robbie.
I'll be excited. I'll be excited. I almost think the episodes, I feel like we talked about this enough. Originally, we were going to kind of talk a little bit about Apex, but I don't really think there's a ton of time left now.
No,
Maybe if I segue into, I just want to spend a couple minutes. So I got my girlfriend the new OLED Nintendo Switch. So I just wanted to talk about this bad boy. Look at this
it
beautiful
looks
thing.
clean as fuck.
Look at it. It's white. So I don't think you can see the difference really, unless where's my other I'm too lazy to go get the other switch, but this has a sizably different screen, bigger screen. Of course, the blurring out thing, there we go. The screen is bigger. It's OLED, so it's brighter. The blacks are real black. It's a true black. So the screen just looks super vivid. It's bigger. It has better battery life from what I know. Another cool thing about this too is it's the same footprint size. So like this is not any bigger than the regular Nintendo Switch, but it's this. You have a bigger screen. Other thing I got to show you right here is look at this kickstand, man. It's if I can open it. It's kind of like a Surface. If you know the Surface laptops, it's like this. It's an adjustable hinge, and instead of that little crappy tiny one that was on the original Nintendo, it's like a full dude, this thing's sturdy. Also, aluminum backing. So this, instead of this being plastic, this is aluminum now. So like the build quality on this is just really great. It's really good.
Which also I just want to throw in there is actually, for all of you that don't know, is very big because I was about to say Call of Duty. Nintendo is renowned for minimalizing cost of production, which means that they will use actually very, very inexpensive and cheap material to make very good, very high quality machines for the material that they're making. Nintendo was renowned for using very like minimal expense when it comes to like the build and the material that their consoles and their systems are made out of. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but I'm just they're doing a great job with it, man. Like only $50 more. So this, instead of being 300, it's 350. So for $50 more, you're getting the OLED, you're getting the better screen. It looks way nicer. You're getting that better build quality, way better hinge, sturdy, nice aluminum backing instead of the plastic, so it feels a lot more premium. You could still use the same Joy-Cons, nothing different on that end. My girlfriend wanted the white one. I actually think the white one is pretty nice looking, nice and clean. Another cool thing I'll show you too that you don't have and you did not have previously with the other Nintendo Switch is this bad boy. So look at the dock. The only con about this dock is that instead of having a swiveling door, it just totally comes off. Kind of don't like that, but I don't know if you can see it here. Nah, I don't think it's going to render. Come on, work.
I think if you put it a little bit closer to your like chest, if you bring it like closer
to my
chest,
head, maybe.
No. Like bring it closer, like right.
Well, I'm trying to. I don't know if you can see right here. Right here, they added LAN. So you plug an Ethernet cord in right where my finger is. It's too dark, you kind of can't see it. But now you can play this thing instead of relying on Wi-Fi. You can use this dock, and now you can play through an Ethernet cord. So you can get that, stability that you would normally get with online gaming. You can get that now with this new dock. Also, you can download games and everything quicker too. So I just wanted to throw that out there quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but between the better screen, the better build quality, this dock that allows you to have LAN now, so I can plug an Ethernet cord into this bad boy, and now I can game online with actual reliability and good high speed. I think anybody who's on the fence, maybe you didn't get a Nintendo Switch, check this bad boy out, man. I mean, for an extra $50, I think the value's right there, man. And I'm finding them in stock too. A lot. It's been hard to get your hands on any game device lately, whether it's an Xbox Series X, a PS5, whatever it might be. But I am seeing, at least currently, as of December 16th, a lot of the stores that I'm looking at, these bad boys are in stock. So if you've been on the fence this whole time of getting a Nintendo, I think this is a good time to get one. I just wanted to give like a quick impression of it because I'm impressed with it, man. And I think for $50, that's a really good value. I think a lot of game developers and game companies kind of stiff you and do a lot of anti-consumer things. I think they could have made that $100 more, and a lot of people still would have justified it and bought it. But they only added $50 on the price, and I think it's worth it. So I just want to give them kudos for that. I'm impressed with it. I like it, and yeah, that's it. Oh, one thing I'll throw out there too. So if you want to look me up on Twitch, my name was Rob Mullins. It was just Rob Mullins on Twitch. Now it's Red Robster. So I tried to do the Every Gamer because I'm the Every Gamer pretty much on everything. That was taken. Someone must have taken it. So I just went with my other Instagram name, my other nickname, Red Robster. So it's REDROBBSTER. If you want to pop in there, if I'm streaming whatever, Halo, Apex, maybe a little bit of Warzone. This dude is messed up. After all the crap we talked about Warzone, I'd still play Warzone tonight. I'd still be like, you know what? Let's get a couple games in, see how it goes. But yeah, look me up there. He's going to put in the bio, he's going to put, all the connections for his Instagram and his Spotify and all that stuff. So check out the other stuff if you're interested in it.
Yeah, if you want to see what goes on in the other parts of our lives, you get to see it in those little links right there. In the
And
meantime,
if you
guys, I hope that you guys can get your hands on either one of these beers. These are really good. Obviously, his is a little bit more universal, I think, to say the least. This one, again, this is for you IPA fans, you microbrewery fans. Hopefully, you guys have some good beer, though, regardless. In the meantime, that you guys are playing some good games, I would definitely suggest that you guys go and check out Halo if you haven't done it already. That multiplayer is free to play if you have Game Pass, which obviously would be available on PC and on Xbox One X. Really, really good time. I know Robbie didn't have the best time last night, um, but for
yeah.
the most part, a very good, solid game. We're waiting to see what happens with them. And you know what? Regardless of what I said today, I hope that all you Call of Duty people, if you're enjoying yourselves, you keep enjoying yourself, so long as you're not hacking, because then I hate you and don't play the game again.
And why are you wasting your money on that? Like,
Yeah.
why? You're gonna get caught at some point, and like at the end of the day, you can't feel good about yourself. So like, what is the point? I don't understand that. You're paying like decent money for these hacks. From anything I've heard, you're paying substantial money to be able to hack. Like, what the fuck? Why?
Well, if
Why?
there was a
What is
time
the
to quit
point?
hacking and get good, it's now. So hopefully you guys take this with a little grain of salt. Obviously, everything here has been open for interpretation. Gonna remind you again, go down and hit that like and subscribe button. Rob's
And yawn.
Rob's getting his yawn on. He got his burp on earlier. He's getting a little tired, but let's just call it for what it is. I hope that you guys are doing your best at whatever game you're playing. You're obviously drinking something great, and it doesn't have to just be beer. Drink some good wine, drink some good liquor, drink whatever you have, and do it up, man. And then we will catch you guys in the next video.